If I was to ask you what's the safest settlement in Fallout 4, you'd probably give me one of two answers: Spectacle Island or the castle. And I suppose you'd be right. Or, I guess what I should say is you would have been right, because in today's video, I'm going to be building the most defendable and remote one-man settlement the Wasteland has ever seen. And I'm going to build that settlement right behind me over there. So, allow me to explain the plan. I'm going to construct an oil rig style settlement that will be more than twice the size of the largest enemy in the Wasteland, meaning it has to be a minimum of 40 feet tall. The settlement will have a docking area at the bottom for boats, along with a huge water treatment system. There'll be a 4-story lift which will bring you to the main part of the settlement, which will comprise of a home to live in, as well as a farming plot and animal pen for self-sustainability. Meaning that if I never want to meet another human ever again, I don't have to. Not only that, if I ever find myself under attack, which I may or may not experience in this video, I definitely do, then I can simply hold up in my house and deal with the issue on my own terms. So, now I've explained the plan, let's get building. Bruh. So, to start off the build, I constructed a 4x4 tile spread at the base and attached a 4-story lift in the center to make sure everything would line up correctly. Once that was done, I did the same floor layout for the 4th floor of the elevator and constructed the frame for my homestead. After that was complete, I fenced off the farming plot next door to my settlement home and finished off by adding a wood railing all the way around the circumference of the property to ensure I didn't fall off. And now that the main upstairs structure has been finished, it's time to move on to the structural supports. So, before starting this build, I really had no idea what to use for the settlement supports into the ocean. So I started off by stacking concrete floor pieces on top of each other, but I quickly realized that idea was complete dog shit, so I changed the plan and went for vault structure supports instead. And it's fair to say these pieces worked a million times better. They snap and stack on top of each other, they look like they could be providing a lot of structural support, and you can even snap wall pieces to the exterior of them to give them a kind of different look. But unfortunately, while capturing some B-roll footage, I uncovered an issue. The structural support bases were interfering with the wood floor structure connected to the lift, and that meant that I couldn't use these pieces either. But lucky for me, there's a subsection in the vault building materials menu under the atrium pieces that almost perfectly replicate the look of oil rig supports, as you can see here. And not just that, they also snap together just like the atrium floor pieces, but don't cause any funky texture glitches when connecting to the main settlement flooring. And after a long, hard day's work, I'd built the main settlement structure and foundational supports, and that meant it was time to set down my bed for the night and get some sleep ready for the next day. But little did I know, some uninvited guests were heading my way for a, shall we say, less than friendly visit.
We must warn you, before showing you the upcoming footage, some of the sights you're about to witness are hard to watch, and viewer discretion is advised. With that being said, roll the tape.
Alright boys, let's go through the plan one more time. Randy, do we really need to go through this again, mate? Yes we do, you squiffy ass prick, so listen up, because this is a highly complex plan, alright? Alright.
Okay.
So, we use our sailboat to get to the settlement. We then unleash a wave of bullets in order to take out this weird property developing tycoon who's been renovating the wasteland for who knows what reason. Then, we dock the boat, use the elevator, and throw his useless meat sack into the sea. Do we all understand? Well, yeah, we all understand the plan, Randy. It's not all that intricate if I'm being completely honest, mate. I swear to you by all that's holy, if we don't die tonight, I'll kill you myself. Sure you will, mate. Sure you will. Prick.
Give us some home, you specky square gola! Just leave, tell him it's no good going home!
What the fuck is that noise? Someone shooting at me? Oh, okay. If that's the way you want to play it, let's play.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
So, after dealing with those multinational raiders, I took a slow walk back into my newly built house and went back to bed ready to finish off my settlement on day 2. I woke up early the next morning and started building a docking port ready to house my newly acquired boat, which the raiders were no longer in need of. And what would you know, despite it being hit by a mini nuke, there is not a scratch on it. Once I retrieved the boat, I took a trip to the mainland and picked up some materials to build an industrial-sized water processor, which I planted at the bottom of the tower. I also added one last structure to the settlement, which was a rooftop greenhouse to ensure the settlement was completely self-sustainable. Once that was done, it was time to decorate the settlement and make it feel like a home. And now that's all complete, let's get started with the settlement tour. Okay, here we are at the oil rig settlement, so let's get started with the tour. the oil rig settlement doesn't sound great. If you can think of a better name for this place, let me know in the comments section down below, because I haven't actually come up with anything. But anyway, starting with the tour, we've got the huge water purification machine over by here, and then the pump on the dock as well, so you can sort of store up all your water in these barrels, and then you can use the lift to take those up to the main section, so you can hoard as much water as you need, and you could probably hold up for ages off just a few of those barrels. The dock overall isn't too exciting, there's not too much going on, but, you know, just the basics of what you would need here and there when you're bringing the ship in. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the dock section, so let's make our way upstairs to the main part of the settlement. Right, okay, so here we are at the main part of the settlement. So right in front of us here, we've got a sort of outdoor relaxing, chilling / area where you can sort of have your barbecue, just have a few drinks, relax, you know, invite some friends over. And then we've also got a telescope as well on the corner here, so you can look out towards the main city or the stars, whatever you want to do. Have a cheeky gaze, that's completely up to you. We've got our pet rat over here. And then over here we've got our chicken pen. Alright, okay, nope. Got to keep these boys in because they will try and escape. We've got a nice little heating barrel here just to keep them warm. And then on the inside we've got some sandbags for like kind of bedding. And then some pouches of what look like chicken feed. That's what I'm going with. And yeah, whatever. Right, anyway, that is the whole farming section there. We'll close that up and we'll make our way to the upstairs.
Nope.
Excuse me? No, thank you.
Nope.
The fuck is this chicken run? Alright, fine. Keep that open, whatever. Right, so as you can see, we've got a good mix of different things here. We've got kind of like the mute fruits, we've got some corn, all the sort of basics you need for your farming. And this is kind of here in place because obviously animals could die, they could get disease or anything like that. As well with your fruits and vegetables, in a sort of greenhouse setting, they should be pretty safe. And this should provide you a whole load of food to keep you going, just in case you did have to hold up in here for any length of time. So, yeah. And, one other thing to point out as well. I knew it would be a safety concern with the lift because if, you know, someone was to secretly dock at night, they could just use the lift and come up. But not so much because we've got an off power switch here. So with this, you ain't going nowhere. Nobody's coming up and we can control that from the top here. So yeah, just another safety measure. But anyway, let's make our way into the main part of the settlement. Right, okay, so as we come in here, you've got a sort of entrance table, shoe rack, and then some liquor. And then we've got the bookshelf, Nuka-Cola poster. I love the Nuka-Cola things. They always seem to pop, so I pop those in. And then a living room section over to our right-hand side. We'll come to that in a minute. First of all, have a little look in at the bedroom. Again, got, you know, your wardrobes, chest of drawers, all the things you'd need, just the basics for a bedroom, as well as a nice little lighthouse painting there as well, just to pay homage to where we currently are. Not only that, if things really do kick off and, you know, you have to make one last stand, you're able to also power down this door and lock it as well. So, you know, you've got the ham radio, you could call for assistance if you've got any buddies on the mainland. And maybe that would get you out of a scrape, who knows. Got the dining table by here. And then the sort of chill area over by here where you can look out into the wasteland. Just, you know, kick back in your rocking chair. To the left-hand side, we've got the kitchen here. Nothing fancy, just some basic units. We've got the wood-burning stove by there, and then also a sort of little propane one here. So, you know, you can use either one of those. Also got some freshly baked bread by there. Lovely stuff. I've got the tumble dryer / washing machine there, so we can keep our clothes, our towels, everything like that nice and clean. And then we've got sort of a wash basin over here as well. Behind this door, you will find the shower, so you can keep clean. And then in here, just got, you know, the sort of basic toilet setup. And really, that is the entirety of the settlement. It's not big, it's not particularly flashy, but it does exactly what it needs to do. It's a self-sustaining, very safe, very dependable settlement, which, honestly, if I had to choose anywhere in the wasteland, somewhere like this is where I'd go. This is my idea of heaven being an introvert. So yeah, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button. I just want to say a big thank you for any of you that have watched up until this point. And yeah, we'll finish off with some nighttime highlights just to get it out of here. And as always, hopefully I'll see you in the next one.